All right, welcome back, folks. This is Sarcasm Speaks. Jared and Bob flying at you, fresh off of the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I would say one of my favorite events. I guess kind of. Mostly I like the course, right?
Yeah, so I was
And
about to say you probably want to rephrase that to your one of your favorite courses.
one of my favorite courses. Yes,
because frankly, the tournament blows.
yeah, and it's really only played at Pebble for 50% of the tournament.
Yes, and the amateur thing doesn't do anything for me. It really doesn't.
No.
I don't, dude. Bill Murray's been playing for like 64 years. I don't care anymore, and he's basically just old and grumpy now. It's like. I don't care. And then like, I don't even know who Macklemore is. Like, he's like the next one. And I'm like, I don't even know who this guy is. Like, who is Schoolboy Q? I don't even know. Like, and again, that could be because I'm an idiot, but
yeah, I mean, I will say I do like Macklemore, or I will say I used to. I don't know any of his new stuff, but back when we were in college, which now is a decade ago, I enjoyed his stuff.
Yeah, and I mean,
what he's put out in the last 10 years, I don't know, but
don't get me wrong, there are some decent storylines. So like Canelo, who's only been playing for 2 years and he's like a mid single digit handicap, like that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you hear what they were saying when they talked to him about how he got so good? He was like, "Oh, I practice every day for 4 hours." And they were like, "Wait, when do you box?" And he goes, "Oh no, I box first." He goes, "I practice every day boxing for 5 hours." And then
it's a work day.
And then I take a break and then I golf for 4 hours. And I was like, holy shit. Like, imagine being like Canelo Alvarez and that's your life. I mean, he's the greatest.
Well, the boxing part must suck because that's the work.
One of the greatest boxers ever. So,
yeah, I mean,
he's only ever lost to the greatest boxer of all time. So, I mean, I would say he's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, it's okay. Like the celebrity aspect is okay at best. But again, I'm good with Bill Murray. I'm good with any interviews. I don't need any interviews from any of those people.
My thing though too is like none of them are really good
at golf.
Yeah.
No, they're not. But that's why like they had the women had a thing. And some of those dudes can play. Like they had Romo, they had Derek Lowe, they had Smoltz.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like sometimes when they do a pro-am, like some of those guys are legit. Like you just said, like Romo, Derek Lowe won the event 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. And
yeah. I mean, Steph Curry, when he plays, he's really good.
Yeah, so it's like
Brady's really good.
Romo's marginally good enough to get into the US Open, I'd say. It's close. He has played legitimate professional tournaments. Now he always ends up finishing towards the bottom as he should.
Right.
But he has put up decent tournament scores once or twice, which is more than any of us can say. Steph Curry, same thing. Like I think Steph Curry shot like a 75 one time in like a Corn Ferry event. Like that's pretty fucking good. I mean, he might have backed it up with an 82, but dude, that's fucking good. Now, I don't need interviews with these people. I don't need anything.
Yeah.
None of them are beating the pros. None of them are doing anything remotely good. I don't care. Like even if you put Romo, Aaron Rodgers, John Smoltz, like try to load it up. I don't care.
Yeah.
I really fucking don't. Because I saw Tom Hoagie shot on 16 and then the putty rolled in on 17. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
It does not matter how good an amateur celebrity is. I don't fucking care. So put them out there. Fine. Stories. Okay. It is fine. Like fine.
Yeah.
If you want me to really care, you need to put them in the format of, the match. Who was it? It was Aaron Rodgers and Bryson. Who did he play against? I don't even remember. It was Phil and.
Oh.
Who did Phil play with?
I don't even know.
I have no fucking clue.
I have no idea.
Did he play with Brady?
Could have been Brady.
Oh, yeah, it was Brady because they called Gronk and he didn't know Aaron Rodgers was there. So it's like you have Brady and Manning. That was okay. You had Brady and Rodgers. That was okay. I'm okay with that. Like
Yeah.
I am. I'm okay. But that's in a different format. Like I don't care otherwise.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
what's it like being out here? Dude, you're on one of the best golf courses in the world with the best players in the world. What do you they're not going to give
Yeah.
you anything. Like they're not going to be like, oh, well, Tom Hoagie's kind of a fucking dick.
Right.
Like, I don't know. So,
yeah.
And then with the tournament, because the AMs are there and because it's on 3 different tournaments, it ends up being a little goofy.
Yeah. And it takes fucking forever too.
That's the thing. It's 7-hour rounds. It's
Yeah.
goofy. It is very, very, very goofy.
Yeah.
And the players generally would not be there if their sponsors weren't taking care of them.
Right. Right.
And that's what you saw with the Saudi.
Well, I was going to say, that's why a lot of the heavy hitters weren't there this week.
Dude, DJ wasn't at this tournament.
Yeah.
That's
Morikawa wasn't there.
But so the thing is though, DJ's played there and he's done well there.
Yeah.
A lot. I think he's won it twice and he's finished well and he always plays well. And he plays with Wayne and it's cool. He wasn't there. That fucking says a lot. And I assume Spieth wouldn't have been there if AT&T wasn't his sponsor.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he also does play really well there too, but
yeah, but it doesn't matter if they're offering you $2 to $5 million to go fucking hop on a PJ over to fucking the desert. You go to the fucking desert.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Bryson went over there and fucking
like appearance fees.
Yeah. Bryson went over there and WD'd because he said he fell. Like joke, comical.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it's one of the best courses, but it's not the best tournament. So, in a way, I'm happy to move on because we've had 2 of the last 3 weeks have been pro-ams on 3 different courses. I'm good, but progress. They did put cameras on Monterey Peninsula this year. That's pretty cool. Monterey Peninsula is a cool looking course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we do need to get them on Spyglass, but we'll figure that part out.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I was perplexed. I would say that there was no cameras on Spyglass. Like I didn't get to see anybody watch. Like I didn't get to watch anybody play Spyglass.
See now, in my opinion, what they should do is,
and I think Spyglass is a really cool course.
It is.
Like
also,
I think it's.
I've listened to people say too, it's like Pebble's the easiest out of all 3.
Yeah.
Unless the wind blows, but Pebble's the easiest out of the 3. Spyglass, I think, is the hardest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So shout out to EA Sports. I still play Tiger Woods PGA 14 because in my opinion, it is the best golf game of all time. And Spyglass is on that. So I played Spyglass on the video game. Like I know what the course is like. And it's really fucking cool. Like I don't know which hole it is, but there's one of them where the green is literally like, I don't know, maybe it's 15 yards wide, but it's like 30 yards long. It's crazy. It's like you have literally this much area to get it on, but it's super deep.
But the problem is, I wouldn't even know.
And that's a par 4, and it's a drivable par 4. That's what it is.
Oh, that's
so
why.
It's a drivable par 4 with like a landing strip, like a runway as a fucking green.
Yeah. So that's what, if it's an old course and it's a well-designed course and it's not goofy, that's what you get. Like Myopia, which is built in fucking 1852. There's a hole. It's 135 yard par 3. 9 yards wide.
Yeah.
Surrounded by probably 9 bunkers too. It's insane. It's an insane hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, what I would like to see, and I don't think they'll ever do it, but like give the contract to, as much as I would fucking hate this, give it to Barstool, have them broadcast Spyglass.
Yeah.
But the PGA Tour is probably threatened that they would do a better job because they probably would.
Oh, 100%.
And if they didn't, no laying up definitely would.
So we were, I was going back and forth a little bit with Ian on Twitter earlier because he replied to someone, I think, or just tweeted out himself that they need to do something about like the gambling stuff with the PGA guys because they have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, no clue.
Multiple times all weekend, I heard them just fuck up like gambling stuff. Like at one point today, And so I've never met the guy, but from everything that I've heard, I think Nick Faldo's kind of a fucking dickhead, right? Like, isn't he he's just an asshole.
All things considered.
So I think it was one of the guys was talking, and then Faldo said like, oh yeah, like casually, because they flashed the odds on this thing. And I think at the time, Spieth or Cantlay, whoever was in first, was plus 137 was their odds to win live. And he was like, oh yeah, so you'd win $37 on a $100 bet. You could go buy some shrimp cocktail because this is California and it's whatever. And I'm like,
that's not
right. Not what that means at all. Like, you don't bet 100 to win 37. Like, what are you doing? And then one of his broadcasting mates was trying to correct him and be like, well, no, actually, if $100 bet would gain you 137, but he got cut off by Faldo, who just started talking about something else.
Yeah.
And it's like the guys they have on don't give a shit about gambling, and they know nothing about it because of that. So they just like brush it off, say whatever, and then move on.
Dude, it's they barely know about golf. Like,
yeah.
So this is the thing is, all of these dudes are former players, and Faldo's won 6 majors. So it's like,
Faldo,
if you try to go at Faldo, it's like, well, how many majors have you won? It's like, I haven't won any, but I know fucking math. Like,
so this is another thing that a part of my other thing that I've gathered as to why I think Faldo is just an asshole is like, he constantly is like, well, back in my day, that's not what we did, or that's not how I used to play it, or, oh, I can't say I would do that. And there was one of the shots, I think it was yesterday, because this was a tournament I actually was able to watch almost all of it, all 4 rounds. Because, I don't work really. So, or at all, I guess, technically. But I heard him say so many times, like at one point he was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have taken that shot from that angle and gone in there. And then the guy that did it hit it to like 9 feet from the pin. And then he even said like, well, I guess I'm just an old fuddy-duddy or whatever. He's made some stupid comment or something. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you are. You sound exactly like that.
And it's funny because Johnny Miller's out now and Faldo's just becoming the old fucking grump. Like,
yeah,
dude, the game is fucking different.
Right.
And you don't have to fucking like it. You really, really don't have you are broadcasting.
Yeah.
And you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right. Right. It's again, like we talked about with Ian about how the NFL guys are like, oh, Steelers defense. So you got to watch out for them, where they rank 27th in net yards per play or something like that, or whatever they're the bottom of the league in all the stats. And they're like, oh yeah, no, Steelers defense though, you got to watch out for them. It's like, no, you guys don't know it. Like, you guys literally don't know anything.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about the sport you're trying to cover.
So the guy who does Decades, Scott Fawcett, which is all strategy, his favorite pet peeve with golf broadcasts is, oh, John Rahm plays better when he's mad. He goes, you can't play better than you are.
No.
He goes, if you play better when you're mad, that means you play worse when you're not mad, because you can only play within your ability. This is golf. Like, you can't just
yeah.
You can't just become something you're not.
This isn't NHL hits where like you take a big hit on the boards or something. And
you don't get the Mario mushroom.
Yeah, your ratings jack up and your guy catches on fire.
No, like when you're mad, like that's the thing is, if you play better when you're mad, well, that means you play worse when you're not.
Yeah. Or I guess they had all of them. That was NHL hits, NFL blitz, and then MLB slugfest. That was like NBA that jam. Whole NBA jam. That was like the whole thing. Like, your guy would catch on fire and you would just run around and do stupid shit. Yeah. It's like, that's not real life. That's not how that works. Also, like, I would look at him and be like, have you ever played golf? How do you play when you're mad?
No, okay. Regardless, that doesn't matter, because truthfully, it's just his opinion. But
right.
It was, oh, I play better when you're mad. It's like, well, no, you can't play better when you're mad, because you can only, like, that just means that you reach your ability level. Like,
right.
That's like saying, like, I'm trying to think like a running back. Oh, well, I just got mad and I kind of, whatever. It's like, all right, well, on the run, did you run over a bunch of people because you were mad?
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Like,
right.
You hit people a little bit harder. Okay. But like, you can't possibly hit a hole better, or you can't read a block better. And like this, so that's one pet peeve of Scott Foster. I know it's just a saying, but the thing is, they say it all the time.
Yeah.
And like John Rahm will like miss a short putt or have a bad chip or have a bad hole, and they're like, oh well, he's about to get mad. And we all know that he plays better when he's mad.
Yeah.
Well, how come he doesn't win every tournament when he starts playing like shit if he's so good?
Right.
I don't know. They need to figure out, like, so that's the thing. They want to include the gambling content. They don't know how to do it. They don't understand the advanced statistics. And I would even say they're not even advanced anymore.
No.
Like strokes gained statistics are not advanced.
No.
But they like to go back to old school ones like putts per round. It's called, they only had 21 putts. All right, well, how many greens did they hit? Because if they only hit fucking 4 greens,
right,
and they had 21 putts, that's still not that good.
Right. Yeah, like there's so much more that goes into it now. That's why I look at golf similarly like I do baseball, is that there's so many statistics in it, right? Like the depth of statistics that exists is crazy. So like, why not just use them? You know, like
it's all there is. Like that's the thing. Like, what are you going to do? Pick on like, oh, I'll pick Spieth because he always plays well there. It's like, oh, well, that would have worked.
Yeah. I actually did pick Spieth.
Would you have also picked Vaughn Taylor?
Yeah.
He plays well there.
Yeah.
Nick Taylor finished second. Streelman always plays well there. Like,
I don't even think Streelman made the cut this year.
He probably did. He always makes the cut.
Kuchar always plays well there. He missed the cut this year.
Yeah, yeah. Like that's the thing, is like Snedeker always plays well, but like, dude, these guys are getting old. They're not playing that well anymore.
Yeah. So funny thing, you should bring that up, is that we actually, I would say we handicapped it pretty good between the two of us.
What, Pebble?
Yeah.
I don't think I could have handicapped it any better.
Yeah, you hit Tom Hoagie.
Yes.
To win.
Yes.
And my two outrights were Jordan Spieth and Patrick Cantlay, who Spieth was 20-1, finished tied for second. And then Cantlay was the favorite at 8-1, but he finished T4. So 3 of the guys that we picked finished in the top 4.
So now I have a tale of how gambling isn't just about being right. Because I have a tale of money management. Because what everyone's going to ask me first is, oh, how much money did you win? Not a lot. Because I never thought that I was going to nail that pick. I didn't do it. Yeah. And now what you're going to say is, oh, well, if you're going to pick it, you might as well bet it. No, you're right. You're right. I should. But you got to remember too, it's like, if I take a full unit, and this is like this, this is me thinking out loud. If I take a full unit on every single golfer, my money would have been wiped from my account by now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got it. Like, this is the thing, like a football unit, because primarily I bet football. Yeah. A football unit is not a golf unit because the upside is so much higher. So it's like, I try to evaluate, where we're at. Like, if you normally bet $100, you can't bet $100 on every golfer. Like, how many golfers are you going to hit in a season? Yeah, exactly. So pre-tournament, I usually make my picks because I like doing it. I like going through it. I have the time. We'll see what happens when the summer comes, but I like doing it. I don't mind doing it, whatever. Yeah. So I have my outrights, my top 20s, and my matchups. I probably need to throw these matchups out the window because I believe I'm 0-6. And then if you include the 2 I did on a random round 4 when I was fucking hungover, I think I'm 0-8. Like, I am not fucking getting these matchups. So those are probably out the window. But right there, if I bet a unit on those, I'd be down 8 units. Right. Now, you could also say I'd be up 66 units on the Hoagie bet, whatever. Not, like, that's neither here or there. But in 3 tournaments, down 8 just on matchups. Yeah. And then top 20s, I don't have the numbers exactly in front of me. But James Hahn, I could bet on him, and I thought he was in the field. He didn't even start. Like, and I cannot find what happened to the guy. So this is another thing. It's like, if I'm going to bet these fucking no-name guys, it's like, I'm never going to find out what happened to this dude. Right. Like, dude, he was in the field and he had odds. If I was to bet him, like, he wasn't there. Where the fuck did he go? Yeah. He did not play in this tournament. So I'm like, I cannot, like, if I Google his name, I cannot find any info about withdrawal. So that would have been another unit. So like all things considered, it's like, yeah, okay. So I hit the bet, I handicapped it correctly, but I'm still learning the money management part of the golf thing because I would probably like, obviously, winning 66, but I'd probably be down in the last 3 tournaments. Cause I don't think I hit anything in the American Express. I think it was I might've hit one top 20 guy. So I was probably down 4 units in the American Express. I was probably down 1.5 to 2 in Torrey. And yeah, okay. So I hit Hoagie, but the other ones didn't hit. It's like,
yeah.
So
I'm looking at it. I did okay in the American Express. I did okay in my matchups this week. I went 3-2 in my matchups, and then I went 0-6 in my outrights, top 5, top 10s.
And that's the thing, when you only have finite money in the account, like you can't just do everything all the time, and outrights are the most risky.
Right.
But either way, if I bet an outright, it's only going to be a quarter unit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all it's ever going to be. Because but then it's like, oh, well, you would have hit it. Yeah, yes. But like, I'm probably not going to hit another outright for what can I expect to hit? 1, maybe 2 more outrights the rest of the year.
Right.
And when the real players start playing again, they're only fucking 15-1, 20-1. Like, yeah, okay, this guy was 66-1. I also got a really good number on it, but that's the thing is like, if I hit 3 outrights, 66-1, 15-1, and like 18-1, I'll lose all of that back.
Yeah.
Over a 40 tournament schedule.
Right.
So trying to learn,
because you're doing multiple bets too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you say you take 3 outrights, right? Or let's not use outrights. Let's say you make a total of 5 bets on positioning. So including outright, top 5, top 10, top 20, whatever. So 5 bets in a tournament. And then you win, say you did do a full unit, right? So now you just spent 5 units.
For 40 tournaments is 200 units.
Right. So if you
have to win 200 units back.
Exactly. To break even.
Yeah.
So you're 66-1, 18-1, 15-1. That doesn't even get you to 100 units.
No, but then you can, So again, and that's the thing is like, yeah, you can hit some of your top 20s, but I don't even know what my rate is. Like, I don't know. I can't reasonably expect like, yeah, okay, so I've bet on golf before, but it's mostly just been like, it's still for fun. It's always for fun. I'm not retiring to bet on golf.
No, absolutely.
But like, this is the first time, and it's only been 3 weeks where I've actually sat there. I go, let me try to break this down. Let me write things down. Like, because I used to that's the thing is I can pull up stats.
Yeah.
And look at him. I go, I kind of like that guy. But like, let me actually pull up stats. Let me actually write this shit down. Let me compare these next to other people. And then I still have to make the call because, if I statistically break it down and come up with 8 guys, well, I got to pick fucking Tom Hoagie and not pick Mackenzie Hughes.
Right. Right.
Be it him finishing T2 a couple weeks ago makes that a lot fucking easier, but
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like great hit. Like I'm happy. I am happy I hit it. I'm happy I fucking called it right, but it ain't the win that a lot of people would have had. And the same thing though, it's like there's a unnamed golf gambling podcast that I will not go too far into. I like them. They're okay. Like I like what they have to say. The dude has there's 2 guys on there, and one guy had up to like 25 sides and didn't hit any of them one week.
Yeah, that's either
I don't think they're placing all of those bets.
Exactly. So that's what I was going to say. That's either really fucking dumb or it's deceitful, right? Like, oh, I'm going to give you all these names, but I'm not going to bet on any of them.
Now, I guess in fairness, they did hit the very first term of the year, so it might have free rolled a little bit.
Yeah.
And then if you pick 25 sides and you hit 15 of them, you're going to make out because of all the plus money on it. So I'd have to see like long term, but like, that's the other thing is like, you can't just overextend yourself like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's stupid. That's
going to lose my entire account balance over a 5-week span. Like,
that's just bad bankroll management.
Yeah. So
Like,
but I did hit him.
You
so
did.
Now no one can take that away from me.
Yeah.
Hit Tom Hoagie.
Yeah.
Of all people too.
Yeah.
And not for nothing. So it's like day top 20 because I had him outright. So that would have been a top 20. Didn't have him actually top 20 though, because he was an outright, whatever. Like since Hoagie was such a long shot, got it, whatever. Fucking Satoshi Kodaira. I thought that was going to be my clever pick of the week.
Yeah.
I thought it was, because it's like, first of all, who?
Right.
Second of all, why? Third of all, he was like a plus 550 top 20, and he was right fucking there. At one point today, he was tied ninth, and he fucking pissed it all away.
He pissed it away.
I guess that's what happens when you fucking take Satoshi Kodaira.
Yeah. But so, yeah, I mean, there is enough statistics to go out there. And then for me, so again, this week was hard because you're playing in 3 different courses, right? So, but they were all at least had in common that they were short and they have small greens. But every week I enjoy like the handicapping part. Like I enjoy like the math and the figuring and like the doing all that shit. Cause then you can look and be like, all right, so what's important at this course, and you can look at it or like Torrey, right? So Torrey Pines, it's long, straight, fairways are super narrow. Greens are,
they're probably average.
They're average. Are they? Is that POA too?
Yeah, all the West Coast is all fucking like those. They're all POA.
So you can go through. I forget what I said to Ian when he was on. I think one of them I said Scotty Scheffler, and then someone else.
You were on Johnny Vegas. I remember that.
Yeah. I don't know how they ended up doing, but like it's things like that where you can like look and see and like, all right, well, like that. And then so this week, knowing that the courses are short and the greens are super small, like Pebble has the smallest area of greens on tour. It's like, all right, we'll look at people's strokes gained approach, or also scrambling is important, right? Because if the greens are really small, that means you're going to miss the green pretty frequently. So how are you scrambling? For anyone that's listening, that just means like to make par when you miss the green. So I look at that, right? Like who's really good on approach to the green, and then who's really good at scrambling and around the green. And then like, obviously putting is always important, but like putting's one of those statistics where like we've said it before, like it's who's going to putt the best out of the best ball striker. Like it's not necessarily who's the best overall putter. But on a course like this with this weekend, the driving doesn't matter. Like someone like if Bryson played there this week, it's like, I don't care. Like I would say it's almost a detriment for Bryson. Like he probably would have not hit, he would have barely hit driver.
It takes his best weapon away.
Right. But I like that shit. Like I like looking at the course, looking at the layout, finding like length and past history and things like that, and then kind of figuring like what's important, what's not, and then going from there. Because like I looked at the strokes gained approach and I forget what it was. I wrote it again. Shout out to me, shameless plug here. I put an article out on ultimatesportsnetworks.com where I broke down the tournament this weekend. But I think Spieth hit 88% of his greens so far this season. So I was like, all right, well, like he's really good when it comes to like approach. Like he hits 88% of his greens in regulation. Like that's important on a course that has really small greens. And look at what happened. He almost won the thing. Patrick Cantlay, I think, was ranked 4th in the whole PGA and scrambling. So it's like, all right, well, that's important. And there's a lot of other factors that go into it, but like, I like that shit. Like I like the who's good in this stat and who's good in that stat and how does it apply to the course and shit like that.
All right. So I have a list of about 30 golfers here, and they were all people that I had my eye on. And this is who I narrowed down from. The best putter in my group. And this is a combination of like course fit, and course history is my group of 30. Best putter, Brian Gay. How'd he finish? Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, don't know.
Second best putter, Sean O'Hare. He was kind of hanging around. He might have sniffed top 30. Third best putter, Nate Lashley. Fucking guy. Another one.
Yeah.
He was 8-1 to finish top 20. And he was fucking right there. Didn't do it. But we all know Spieth's a great putter, right? He's awesome. Right? Buries putts.
Not this season.
107.
Yeah.
Cantlay, remember him in the playoff? Couldn't miss. Him and Bryson going at it. Cantlay hit everything.
Yeah, no, he's not that good this season either.
68th.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Like
Tom Hoagie just won. Okay. So yeah, but 68 is pretty good.
It's okay. Like, and like PGA stats, anything inside of like 50.
There's like 200.
Yeah.
There's
I think there's 220
people.
There's 220 people listed. So if you're in the top 50 in the stats, like that's pretty good.
Tom Hoagie just won. 157th coming into this week.
Yeah.
So I don't think like that's the thing. And I know Ian said it. He goes, I got to stop putting such a priority. Tringali, 39th in putting. How'd that go?
Yeah. Well, I was on Tringali.
I know you are.
To be fair,
him and McNeely were like the fucking big ones.
To be fair,
everybody was on that.
When I put my article out there, ultimatesportsnetworks.com, I said for Cameron Tringali, if you don't like this pick, bet him to miss the cut, because in his last, I forget what it was. The statistic was like either his last 5 or 6 tournaments, he's either finished top 10 or missed the cut.
Well, that's the thing though, is I actually liked him to play pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, as did I. I bet on him to finish top 10.
That's the thing though. It's still golf. Fuck, I wish I bet him to miss the cut.
Yeah, you should have.
I had no reason to. But this thing, I had no reason to.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Ultimate Sports Network, are you? Because Chris asked me this. Are we gonna get NASCAR back?
Potentially, yeah.
You should get back to NASCAR.
I was good.
You were fucking nails after the pandemic.
Yeah. When the pandemic first started, what did I hit?
3 in a row, I think.
I was gonna say I think I hit 4 out of 7. I think I hit 4 out of 7
outright winners. Never mind.
Yeah.
If you had taken, because I think you would generally pick 3 guys.
I would give 3 guys. Yeah.
And if you wanted to take do they have the same placing? Top 5, top 10, top 20?
Yep. It's the same thing as golf.
Yeah. So
betting wise.
Yeah. Like you could take those again, whether you take them outright or you take them top, whatever.
Yeah. They have matchups.
Because that's the thing is the ones you didn't hit, they were still up there.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it. It's it was fun. It's fun. It just depends like how much time I have. I'm probably going to have plenty of time.
Oh my God.
Especially if I take this teaching job, I'll have plenty of time.
You should have fucking plenty of time.
Yeah. I get a minimum of 2 free periods a day. One of the days on my schedule is like, I have like 4 free periods.
Never mind.
And then I'm also done at 3:00.
Yeah. I was going to say you're out the door.
Yeah.
And if you go to bed at 9, that's like 6 hours of stuff. Yeah. You got to cook. Sure.
Right.
You got the time.
Yeah. I got,
because the NASCAR stuff was nails.
Yeah. And truthfully, it doesn't take a lot.
There's less people. Right.
Yeah. And you have to know NASCAR, right? So I'd have to go back. So, I mean, to be fair, right now, to be fair, I said it again. This is shout out to Letterkenny. To be fair, that was 2 years ago, right? That was 2020. That was right when everything was shut down. Because NASCAR was like the first thing to come back.
Yeah, it was NASCAR and golf.
So I think some of the things have changed in 2 years. Like guys have changed teams. People have retired. Like Jimmy Johnson was retired. Guys like Kevin Harvick are like 2 years older, which you think doesn't really matter. But like 2 years ago, he could have been like 40. So like now Harvick's 42. Like how many 42? Like I got to look more into it. But I probably will. I'll probably give it another whirl. But But like I said, like NASCAR it's different because it's like the same guys fucking win all the time. You know, it's you pick. So there's whatever there. I don't know how many races there are now. There used to be 36, but let's say there's 40 now. Let's say they expanded the season. Let's say there's 40 weeks. There may only be somewhere around 15 guys that win all season, because there's going to be inevitably some guys going to win like 4 times. Some guy's going to win 3. There might be some dude that just blows the doors off and wins like 6 or 7 races in a year. You know, like it happens pretty frequently. Like it's,
and if someone gets hot, I assume you ride the hot hand.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like it's always like, and then say I could go down and I could break down. I could do a whole NASCAR betting podcast.
So why the fuck? Yeah. So why is this like? Oh well, I don't know. Maybe if I find the time.
Yeah. But
how easy is it going to be to write a fucking NASCAR article?
So you have to know like certain guys and like their backgrounds and what they're good at. So a guy like Tony Stewart, who has been retired for years at this point, but like Tony Stewart came from like an open wheel background. He did all kinds of crazy shit. He also used to fuck around with F1 racing. So whenever it came to a road course, which anyone that doesn't know anything about NASCAR, that you should at least know that every track is an oval and all they do is turn left all the time. However, there are these things called road courses. They used to race 2 of them every year. One of them was Watkins Glen in New York, and then the other one was Sonoma, California. I don't know to be honest, I don't know what their schedule is now. They might have more than that. They might have less than that. Don't know. But you used to know that when they would go to a road course, Tony Stewart was going to be in the mix every single road course, because that's part of his background. Like that's what he does. Like he doesn't just turn left. You know what I mean? And then there's guys like Kurt Busch, and Jimmy Spencer back in the day, who used to excel at short track racing. For whatever reason, like certain guys are just good at certain tracks. So anytime you went to Bristol or Martinsville or anything like that, like, you know, Kurt Busch is going to do really well. Jimmy Spencer is going to do really well. Like there's just guys that always race well at certain tracks. Like the super speedways, like the restrictor plate races, like Talladega, Daytona, Michigan, like those massive tracks that are like 2 miles long. Like, you know, you always knew Earnhardt Jr. was going to be in there, or Jeff Gordon was going to be kicking around. Jimmy Johnson was a freak. He could win any kind of race at any time. But you know what I mean? Like, you know who fits what type of bill, and then you just kind of go from there. So
you're telling me that
my NASCAR breakdown.
You're telling me that it would be such a burden to write an article for NASCAR each week?
No, it wouldn't.
You just rattled that off with ease.
Yeah. And I haven't watched NASCAR religiously in 2 years. And then before that, probably 15 years, you know, like, yeah. And then there's teams too. Like, see, this is what I mean. Like, I can go on forever. There's certain teams that do really well. Like Hendrick Motorsports is really fucking good. Joe Gibbs Racing is pretty good. Like there's a whole thing. There's a whole thing behind it. So yeah, that's that. That's Sarcasm Speaks on NASCAR.
I'm just saying, I remember it was fucking.
Yeah, no, I was good at it. Like I said, I think I hit 4 out of 7 and 3 in a row at one point.
And we would have hit fucking Daytona if Joey Logano didn't wreck Brad Keselowski. I remember that.
That's right. That's right. Joey Logano cost us the fucking win. That cocksucker. I'm not still bitter though.
Yeah, I definitely didn't still remember that.
Yeah, no, I'm over it. Yeah, because I remember Nikos was ragging on him for the whole year after that. Nikos is like, fuck Joey Logano.
Yep, wrecked his teammate.
Yeah. Oh man, that was good. What else we got going on? Oh, actually, we got a couple things. So I'm gonna touch on something that I skipped on the last episode because we ran long on time. But this week, Whoopi Goldberg came out and said that the Holocaust wasn't about race. So she said that
What was
because
it about then?
she said that because it was two groups of white people, that it wasn't about race.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a freezing cold take.
Yeah, she failed to acknowledge that the whole like final solution was like ethnic cleansing, that like they only wanted white, blue eye, blonde hair. Like that's the only type of person that they wanted. She must have been absent from school that day when they talked about that. It did not go over very well. To be fair, also, I said it again. I need to find a different phrase. Anyway, The View sucks, right? Like that TV show, it's absolute trash TV. Like you're better off watching General Hospital. I don't even know if that show still exists, but you're better off watching General Hospital than you are The View. The View is absolute fucking trash. I would rather watch Jersey Shore than watch The View, to be honest. It's just fucking, it's so fucking bad, especially at this point. But yeah, so Whoopi Goldberg shoved her foot so far down her fucking throat that it came out of her ass and kicked herself in the ass. Because people flipped out, right? So then there was this whole big thing. She got suspended for 2 weeks, and everyone's like, yeah, whatever. And like, I don't know. I look at it and I've seen some other people give some opinions on it and all this stuff. And it's like, some people are saying she should be fired. I don't think she should be fired. What did it for me and why I think she got suspended was because she said that during the day on her stupid show. And then like that night, I think, or the next night, she went on Stephen Colbert to talk about it. And she doubled down, essentially. Yep. So I think that's probably what got her suspended, because after that, the Stephen Colbert episode, she came out and issued this whole big apology and all this shit. And I don't think she should be fired. And this is where you get into some of the hypocrisy on the right, because people on the right are always complaining that they're being censored. They lose their job for their political opinion, all this. They're afraid to say whatever, you know, right? Like that's the trope right now for people that are conservative. And now you have one person on the left that says something fucking stupid, and everyone on the right is like, oh, she should lose her job. She should be fired. It's like, well, no, like you can't have it both ways. Like you can't cry and complain that like people you like shouldn't be fired for saying something stupid, but then turn around and say Whoopi Goldberg should be fired for saying something stupid. Now, can she be suspended because of what she said? Sure, that's up to her employer. And I think, like I said, I think the nail in the coffin was her doubling down that night. Like if she had just said what she had said on her show and then came out and was like, I'm so sorry. What I said was ignorant and in poor taste, and I didn't realize yada, 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 all that shit. She would have been fine. You know, no big deal. Whatever. People say dumb shit all the time. But like I said, I think the double down on the Colbert show was what did her in. And if she gets suspended, fine, whatever. She gets suspended. She said something stupid. It was a 2-week suspension, which I think was a little much. But I think what it really was that they're trying to suspend her for enough time for it to kind of like disappear and go away, you know? Because if they suspended her for like a day or two when she came back, people might feel the need to like talk about it still. So if you give her 2 weeks and then come back, then okay. You know, by the time that time comes, like they're like, all right, we're talking about all this shit now. But yeah, that was just my little quick hit on Whoopi Goldberg from this week.
It's the nihilists train of thought from The Big Lebowski, but it's not fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair? Yeah. That's all it is coming from the right.
Right.
Now, if people were to use logic and sound reasoning, they would turn around and say, oh yeah, no, suspension. Okay, yeah, no, it seems good. I mean, if she says something dumb again, then you know,
right,
maybe we have to talk. But in return, it should go both ways. Now, there's no governing body for getting in trouble for saying dumb shit.
Right.
There's no international says dumb shit on social media, like equivalent of like the NHL director of player safety. Like,
Yeah.
you can't call New York to get a review on what someone says. So I don't know. You can't win.
Yeah. I mean, you just have the dickheads that work at Twitter that
Yeah, no,
decide to censor whoever they want.
and I could see that the right side being frustrated with that. With, again, it's like, well, it seems like the right seems to get censored pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And when you have psychopaths on the left saying whatever, seems to kind of just go.
Yeah. Yeah. So in a similar vein, the Joe Rogan thing has evolved into something way fucking bigger than when we talked about it on the last episode, which, like I said,
where did we start on the last episode?
We talked about, we were still on the whole Neil Young thing. Like, Neil Young threatened to take down his music.
But the big issue there was quote unquote COVID misinformation.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
COVID
or vaccine
misinformation. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Even though Neil Young sold his music
Okay.
rights to a company that is trying to buy up all the real estate.
Tell me there's no conflict of interest there.
And the brand new senior advisor was the former CEO of Pfizer.
Nope, nothing to see here.
Yeah. So or one of the
the
new executive board director or whatever of Blackstone is a former CEO of Pfizer. It's like, okay, yeah.
Move along.
Yep, nothing to see here. So it's evolved quite a bit since then. So Joe Rogan came out and like did a whole thing. He, I don't know if it wasn't like an apology, but he came out and said like, I could be better, right? I could be better. Well, I think literally we recorded that on Tuesday. The episode came out on Thursday. It might have been on Thursday that there was a video released. Someone had compiled video of every single time Joe Rogan had said the N-word on his podcast. And
by the way, I do just want to say you fucking cursed him. You said he never apologized for anything. He never says sorry, nothing. And then like fucking 6 hours later, here we are.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I know.
We are the king of curses.
We are the king of curses. But I'll get through. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Cause I curse Spieth and Cantlay too. So,
although I did nail Hoagie.
Yeah.
That's probably because I didn't have a full unit play on him.
Yeah. So yeah, someone released this video of a compilation of every single time Joe Rogan said the N-word on his podcast, but like the actual word. And they just started circulating it all over Twitter and social media. And so Joe Rogan comes out and like does a whole thing, right? Well, actually first Spotify takes down like 70 episodes from Rogan's podcast. Now, I've seen a lot of really funny tweets of people because this all happened around the same time. And people are like, yo, I know for a fact Joe Rogan didn't say the N-word in 70 episodes. So maybe like 12 of them like are justified, but like where's the other, like why are the other 58 episodes gone? Like what happened? Like why did Spotify take those ones down? Like there's some shady shit going on there where people were like not satisfied that the response was, well, no, Joe Rogan took them down because of the N-word and stuff. And it's like, well, he didn't say it in 70 episodes.
No, I did see now this is where, I mean, all of this, it's a sensitive topic. It's a sensitive subject. And I'm sure we'll get to it. He doesn't shy away from sensitive topics. No. So some people have said, discussing, I'm going to make this up. This isn't, maybe it's right. I don't know, but I think I'm making it up. But it's like if they were discussing like anti-Semitic like rhetoric or whatever,
right,
then that might come down too. So it's like, all right, so yeah, he does touch on some things. It's not just the N-word in saying it.
Right.
There are some other things, but yeah, I don't know. 70.
So I saw this one thing.
I would love if someone could compile which episodes came down and what happened, because I think they're all still on YouTube.
Yeah, they're all they're there. There's a website called jremissing.com.
Oh, okay.
They track all the episodes that are being taken down by Spotify.
All right, now someone should put out a summary of which ones are missing, because I'm not going to go through 70. I'm just not.
Yeah, no.
I want a summary of which ones are gone and what was discussed in them.
Yeah.
Mostly out of curiosity. If you want me to do any actual work, I'm not doing it. I don't care that much.
Yeah.
But I know a guy who isn't working.
I saw, yeah, me too. So I saw interesting video someone put out. This was a long time ago because he was in his old LA studio. Like I've been watching and listening to Joe Rogan for so long. Like I know like the backgrounds and like what studio it was and where he was. So this was from a long time ago. He was in his old LA studio, not the new LA, not the big one that he bought. So it was prior to that. And there was a guy on and someone put this clip out there. And I don't know who the guest was, but the guest was talking about like something fucking stupid that like there's a study that like Black people have a gene that makes them more physically aggressive or something stupid like that. And the way they cut it and they edited it to post it was like the guest says this whole big thing. And then Joe Rogan goes, "Oh, wow, like really?" And then it ends clip. Someone replied to that clip with the full clip extended. And what actually happened was Joe Rogan goes, "Oh, really? Like, but why is this?" And then like, what about the military? Because the military kills a bunch of people and that's all white people and they're physically aggressive. And he like lists this whole thing and it's like war has been happening forever. And that doesn't mean racist. And like Rogan pushed back on the whole thing. And then like the response to the, so they did it in a reply to that edited clip and they played the full clip. And then the text to go along with it is like, this is the full clip. This is why you shouldn't really believe much of anything that you see on the internet, because anything can be edited to serve a narrative. Right.
Right.
Which absolutely. But like that original clip was circulating around the internet and it makes Joe Rogan look like he's saying, "Oh, really? Like, wow." But then it just ends. Like it doesn't show like the pushback. So you see this clip of his guest saying that something fucking ridiculous. Like they have a gene that makes them more aggressive or some stupid bullshit like that. And it's like, oh, wow. Joe Rogan had that guy in his podcast and he agreed with him. It's like, well, you might believe that if you only saw that original edited clip. So there's a lot of bullshit going around. There's a lot of shit like that. The other thing too is anybody that actually listens to Rogan knows that he's not a racist person and he doesn't have any problems with anybody. You know, like that's the thing too. That's the other thing that's going around social media is everyone is saying that. They're like, anybody that has a problem with Joe Rogan right now has never listened to any of his podcasts before because you don't know him. Like I said, I've been listening to him for 7-ish years, if not more. Like, I feel like I know him. Like, I feel like I know the guy. Like we've talked about that before. That's how podcasts work, right? Like there's over 330 hours of our dumbasses talking to each other. So like if someone has listened to every single episode, they know us on a different level, right? Because they've heard us talk about so many different things over the course of 3 years that we've been doing this. So, you know, and you like follow people as they change, right? Like the shit we were talking about at the very beginning of this, when we started back in 2018 or the beginning of 2019 is very different than what we talk about now. And it's like people change and you go through and you grow and you get older and all that shit. But like, I don't know. It's one of those things, like I said, like anybody that knows him or listens to his show knows the truth. And all the people that are flipping out are the ones that don't actually listen to him and his show. They just listen to the clips that someone puts out, or they hear this stupid bullshit or something like that.
So I got one side, and it's just on Twitter, called Wocal Distance. Now, I don't know who this person is. I don't know anything about them. But the logic seems right. And he basically says it's a smear campaign.
Yeah.
And there's so the compilation video was sent out by Patriot Takes.
Oh, and yeah. Is there a link to an article on this?
No.
Okay.
I don't have an article. I just have a Twitter thread.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
so
we can get to that now then.
Okay.
I was building to that, but we can just jump into it now. I'll backtrack later.
Okay. So Patriot Takes is owned, or I'm sorry, is partnered with Midas Touch.
Yes.
And Midas Touch is a Democrat super PAC, PAC.
Yes.
Political
Action Corporation. I think that's what PAC stands for.
Political advocacy group. Oh no, sorry, that's what it is. It is a, okay. I don't know what it stands for. A super PAC is a political advocacy group with a twist. Super PACs may raise unlimited sums of money from corporations, unions, associations, and individuals and spend unlimited sums to overtly advocate for or against political candidates. Is that clear enough?
Yes.
Okay. So super PAC, or I'm sorry, so Midas Touch is a super PAC who is partnered with Patriot Takes, who put out the circulating video.
Yes.
Midas Touch is run by three brothers, and they are, as this account describes, they have an expertise in understanding manipulating media, which that might be a little presumptuous, but they're professional media or content strategists and creators, right?
Yeah, one of them was I'm trying to find where
Brett was a social media manager for Ellen DeGeneres and is an expert editor.
Yep. Ben was a litigator and a civil rights attorney who represented Colin Kaepernick during his whole thing, and also was involved in the Fire Festival debacle. And then Jordan is an executive for a branding and marketing firm called Translation. So those are the three brothers.
Right. So they're professionals.
Yes.
Now, based on their background and Midas Touch and whatever, they have an agenda, right?
Yes. Yep.
And they have unlimited resources. So you could now start to, so those are I want to say the facts of the case.
Yes.
I don't know, have a way to fact check those. I'm not smart enough to, but I am assuming that those are the facts of the case.
Yeah. So
that's what we know. So
Midas Touch also, like those three brothers, went hard against Donald Trump for years.
Yes.
There's an article title from Variety magazine from October 2020. The title is "Behind Midas Touch: How Three Brothers Slam Donald Trump Daily with Razor Sharp Viral Videos." Yes. So they have a clear political agenda.
Yes. So now this account moves from what we are considering facts of the case to potential motives.
Yes.
Like why them? Why are they going after Rogan? And Patriot Takes did a press release or an official statement bragging about their millions of views and how they brought this up and whatever.
Yep.
So what's the point? Is that, and this again, I'm still in the thread. I haven't given my opinion yet. The people on the left can't cancel Rogan. They can't do it. So they need some kind of massive, massive thing. Like it's got to be like a massive campaign. And if they can actually pull it off, then it shows how powerful they are. Because they've been trying to do it for years because they can't do it. He's too much. He's too powerful. And he brings on a lot of people that they don't like too. So he provides the platform for that. Until now, they haven't been able to do it. So if they can do it, that would give them a lot of power.
Yeah.
A lot of power to be able to do that. So there is a wrap up. So Midas Touch is a political super PAC that is very likely behind the Patriot Takes account. They're attempting a viral hit on Joe Rogan so they can take him out, both because they don't like him and because they want monetizable clout for having done so.
Yeah.
And if anyone's interested in counteracting that, you would just continue to like Rogan's friends, they're continuing to support him, blah blah blah. And then what else do they say? Something about Spotify. Like if Spotify caves, like Spotify will get crushed for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the last piece was in case you think it was like an organic thing, they have screenshots, they have screenshots and tweets about, it's word for word the same, like regarding the Rogan thing. Like,
yeah. No, I see those too. Those are all
check marks. You have different accounts. It's all in this thread.
So I think the vocal whatever is the same vocal distance is the same person that wrote this article. So I'm just looking at all the information in article form, and you're looking at it on Twitter.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I see this. Like, there's a bunch of people. It's literally copy and pasted.
Yep. Some blue check marks, some not.
Yeah. So it's a 100% a coordinated attack, right?
Yes.
They tried using the Neil Young angle and the COVID stuff, and it didn't work.
Yep.
So then they were like, all right, well, now we need to take one step up. So now they put together this race thing.
Yep.
And I'm sticking by my guns that this isn't going to work. I truly believe I'm going to put the hex on him. I'm going to put the curse on him.
Oh no. Can we bet on this?
Yeah. I really do believe that Joe Rogan is uncancelable.
So now this is for you. And it'll be too late for all the listeners. They agreed to Zoom with Portnoy because Portnoy has accused the same group, the Midas Touch people, as coming after him specifically.
Who agreed to Zoom with Portnoy?
The Midas Touch brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 9:00 tonight.
Oh shit.
So he said he's going to tweet out a link shortly. But
wow. That's interesting.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see if if it actually works, does. He's on a fucking plane right now. He's flying to the Super Bowl. So
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. So like I said, it's absolutely a coordinated thing. And Joe Rogan is uncancelable, right? So I also look at it. I had this conversation with Finn and everyone the other night, like Bill and Vinny and all them when we were out, that even if Joe Rogan gets kicked off Spotify, he still wins. If not, he wins even more, because say he gets an average of 11 million people that download his episodes, just one episode. His one episode average is 11 million. So we did this out. Me and Finn did this out the other day. Say he keeps 80% of his audience if he gets kicked off Spotify and has to go start his own website and create his own streaming app or whatever. It's totally separate, Joe Rogan. If he charges people $3 a month to listen to the Joe Rogan show, he makes $30 million a month.
That's more than he with Spotify.
If he keeps 80% of his audience.
Yep.
He makes 30 million a month.
He might actually gain audience from this.
So he could literally he could charge $1 a month and make $8 million a month, $9 million a month, which is still $100 million a year. You're like, he could charge everyone $1 a month to get the Joe Rogan show on its own separate platform. Now he literally answers to nobody because because like, that's the whole thing, is like why he moved to Spotify, because he was sick of dealing with shit from Apple, and YouTube was demonetizing him and taking his videos down and doing all kinds of shit, giving him strikes on his account. Now he's with Spotify, who gave him free reign up until this point. But if he leaves Spotify and goes and starts his own thing, that's everyone's worst nightmare. And this is one of those situations where people are so stupid, they're gonna, like, they're digging their own grave, right? Because they think they're winning, but they're not. There's no scenario where they come out on top in this, because if Joe Rogan gets kicked off of Spotify, like I said, it just benefits him more. Like I said, he keeps 80% of his audience right now, charges them $1 a month. He still makes $100 million a year on his own platform. And now no one can ever tell him anything because he owns the app. He owns the streaming service. He puts it out on his own. Like, there's no Spotify that people can pressure. There's no YouTube that can take his shit down. There's no Apple that can put a COVID label on it, a sensitive information label on. There's nothing. It's literally Joe Rogan is free to do whatever the fuck he wants and say whatever the fuck he wants. Because once he starts his own thing, who's going to deplatform him then? Himself? No, nothing. Like that. And that's what I mean. Like, these people don't understand that they can't win. Like, they're fighting a losing battle, but they think that they're all high and mighty. They're like, we're going to cancel Joe Rogan. We're going to be the ones to cancel Joe Rogan. You can't cancel Joe Rogan. You cannot do it, because my examples are this. The whole Neil Young thing comes out, whatever. That was the original part of it, right? Spotify tells Neil Young to kick rocks. They're like, fuck off. You can leave. We're sticking with Joe Rogan. Cool. Yeah, we get through that whole thing. He was going to leave anyway. We get through that whole thing. Other artists come out. Joni Mitchell, I don't even know who the fuck that is. Some other people that mean nothing come out. Cool. Take your music off Spotify. Spotify doesn't give a fuck. Now this whole thing comes out where the compilation video of Joe Rogan saying the N-word from the Patriot Takes account. Well, over the last 3 days, what's happened? Everybody has come out to support Joe Rogan. Now, I talked to Sexy Chris about this earlier. Here's the difference. When something comes out as a scandal, typically the person becomes nuclear, right? And you don't go anywhere near them. When Brian Callen got popped for sexual misconduct, he left his show, Fighter and the Kid. No one said anything. Brendan Schaub made like a couple comments here and there. Everyone kept their fucking mouths shut, because you don't fuck around when someone has sexual misconduct stuff as floating around them. Chris D'Elia got popped for having some sort of relations allegedly with an underage girl, potentially. We don't know if she was 17, 18, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Everything was out there. He just disappeared. He stopped putting out his podcast. He stopped going on tour. He just disappeared, right? Who came out to support Chris D'Elia? Nobody. People that like brought it, like I think Rogan even said like, hey man, he's gonna, get through this on his own. Like even Rogan was like, Rogan didn't go against either Callen or D'Elia, but he was like, yeah, they have to deal with their own shit. And, I'm still their friend, but they have to get through this on their own. Louis C.K. didn't do anything really that bad. He asked for permission to fucking jerk off in front of people. We don't have to get down that whole thing. I know there's implications. I know there's that. Louis C.K. got canceled. Who came out to support Louis C.K.? Nobody. Aziz Ansari had a really bad date and got Me Too'd, alleged, because he was creepy, because it was a bad date. He got canceled. He just put out a special 2 months ago, I think, and no one talked about it. He might have even released it on YouTube. Now you have Joe Rogan, hard video evidence, a compilation of him saying the N-word over and over and over again. And what's happened? every single person has come out to support Joe Rogan. Every single person has come out to say, Joe Rogan's a good person. Joe Rogan has said some really dumb things. He's apologized for it. All of those clips were from years ago. Why do we not let people learn and grow from their mistakes and do all this? To use whatever terminology you want to say, he's repented for it. He posted a 10-minute long video talking about he wish he never said them. Those words. He wish he never said it, all that stuff. It was a long time ago, but he can't go back and change it. He owned it. He never tried to blame anybody else. He never tried to say, yeah, but I'm not the only person, because other people have done this for him. On Twitter, people have started passing around the video of Joe Biden saying the N-word from 1989 or whenever it was. Joe Biden is literally sitting in Congress at his congressional Senate seat in the fucking Senate, the Senate building in front of his constituents. And he said the N-word twice. That video has been going around and everyone's like, well, where's everyone trying to cancel Joe Biden? Well, no one wants to cancel Joe Biden.
See, this is the thing, because it's a when convenient,
right?
Which is sometimes a synonym for hypocritical.
Yeah.
Because with everyone say with Rogan stuff, now I haven't gone back and listened to any of the podcasts where Rogan said the word, and I don't know the context of any single one.
They're all from a very long time ago. Fine. Like I've watched the video.
Either way, so wait,
it doesn't make it okay, right?
Whether it happened last week or it happened 14 years ago, I don't care.
Right.
It's what is the context of it.
All of it was saying the word while talking about other things, right? Like what a couple of them was him literally saying the title of Richard Pryor's comedy album, because one of the titles of Richard Pryor's comedy albums has the N-word in it.
Yeah.
So this Patriot Takes Account clipped Rogan talking to someone probably from however long ago, being like, oh, have you ever heard of Richard Pryor's album? N-word and whatever. And then they clip that. And then they just play it as like a 2-second clip. Look, right. He said it. And it's like, yeah, but what's the context?
And so what do people on the left argue? Context doesn't matter, right?
Context. Yeah, exactly.
So what happens when Biden's sitting there?
Exactly.
Oh, now context matters?
Now context
either matters
or
it doesn't.
Exactly.
And never mind,
both ways.
Where's Always Sunny in all this? Because 4 years ago, Charlie Day said it.
Yeah. Yeah. So my favorite thing, the only person that I know who's in the public spotlight that is flip-flopped on this, of all people, is The Rock. Leave it to The Rock. So
what's The Rock's official stance?
So when the whole Neil Young thing was going down, The Rock came out in support of Joe Rogan. Well, then someone tweeted at The Rock and was like, hey, have you seen this video of him saying the N-word? And then The Rock replied to it and goes, oh, this is not good. I was unaware of this. Thank you for letting me know. Essentially, I'm done with Joe Rogan type of deal. So then in comes the fucking Twitter mob. They start shredding The Rock, who is arguably the number one social icon in the world, right? Joe Rogan's big, right? He has the number one podcast. He's not Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Dwayne Johnson is probably the number one human being in the entire world when it comes to marketing and recognition and things like that. It's The Rock. Everyone knows The Rock everywhere. He is the biggest fucking megastar in the entire world. People start shredding him. They start showing pictures of him and Hulk Hogan together. And he's like, oh, but you didn't have any problems with Hulk Hogan when he was saying the N-word back in 2016 or whenever it was, that video got released. How come you never said anything about Hulk Hogan? And then they come out with clips of The Rock doing all kinds of crazy shit when he was working at WWF. There was one clip, he was talking to Mankind and he goes if you don't understand, it's just a clip, but they're standing in the ring. And this was back in the WWF days. And The Rock goes, let me tell you in Chinese if you don't understand what I'm saying. And then he goes like, Ning Ning Han Chang On, and I hit Steve Austin with car. And then everyone starts blowing that clip at him and be like, oh, Dwayne, how come this doesn't make you a racist? How come you didn't apologize for this? Like they just people just went after him. And again, it's all of these examples that really make me think that like, if people are willing to go after The Rock, but not Joe Rogan, and these are like sensible people, right? So obviously fucking, this could be used on the other side. Maybe it's only psychos that are going after The Rock because there's really no like prominent people that are doing this. But so that's a fair argument. But it's like psycho people on the left are all going after Joe Rogan, trying to tear him down, being like, oh, he's a racist, he's a misogynist, he's a sexist, all this shit. He's a bigot. But it's like, you don't listen to his podcast. Like you just hear what other people say about him. So, like I said, the amount of support that's come out for Joe Rogan through this whole thing just is another example as to why he's uncancelable. Because typically in a situation like this, no one says anything. And this is now the complete opposite of any time anything like this happens, right? Like, it's fucking Rogan, dude. Like, he's not going anywhere.
I just think it's funny that, like, I don't know, just Trump got replaced with Rogan and Portnoy. Portnoy to a way lesser extent, but
yeah.
Also, he's going on at 9 p.m. Pacific time. I will be sound asleep at that point.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ.
There could be a recording somewhere.
Yeah. No, there probably will be. I'm sure
it's live on YouTube.
Barstool will never miss a chance to fucking get their brand out there. Yeah. I'm sure they'll be recording it and they'll be posting it for everyone to watch afterwards.
Yep.
So a Barstool is a lot of things at this point, and I know we shit on them in the last episode, but dumb and bad at marketing is not one of them. They excel in marketing, and they're all very, very smart and good at what they do.
It's like Gus Chiggins. He's been called kooky and spooky, but never dumb.
Yeah. So it's shit's just getting wild, right? Like everything is just going nuts. I think we are approaching a breaking point, right? It would seem like socially things are like really fucking, we're on like razor's edge right now, right? Between, and not even just as a country. Like look at the shit that's going on in Canada. Like with the truckers that are just hanging out in Ottawa. And like
they're just not driving, right?
They're doing nothing other than just sitting there. And like people are losing their shit. The guy, someone in Canada, I don't know if it was Trudeau, but like, I think Canada just passed a law or passed an ordinance or something that you're not allowed to provide gas or assistance to the truckers now in Ottawa. But like, this is what happens in a country where you don't have a constitution, right? Like you don't have something like what we have in the Bill of Rights, is that the government in a time like this can literally tell their people, if you give gas to these truckers, you will be charged or fined or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's insane. I think I saw something earlier. I almost screenshotted it, but I didn't. I was like, oh, I'll remember to go back. Obviously didn't. I think something in the UK passed to make a specific type of protesting illegal. Like, I think there's something going on there now that like you can't protest.
You just can't.
Yeah, I'm trying to Google it really quick. Said UK government, no, Trump. New anti-protest bill raises profound concern and alarm. This was actually from last year, but they're trying to rush it through. Exclusive draconian 307-page police crime and sentencing bill is being rushed through in the UK. So they at least tried to get it through. I don't know if it did, but this is like one of those things. Like, you can't protest now in the UK. Like, it's illegal. Like, you can go to jail for protesting. Like, what is this, fucking Saudi Arabia? I mean, like, you look at countries that actually have shit like that, and we look at them like, oh, that's so draconian. Oh my God. What do you mean you don't let women drive? Oh, and you won't let them protest either? Well, yeah, no, we can't let people protest here, though. Well, then how are you any better than Saudi Arabia? Well, I mean, it's different. It's different. How is it different? You know what I mean? Like, it's people are just fucking cocksuckers everywhere, really, is what it comes down to. But yeah, like I said, as far as Joe Rogan goes, I think he's totally fine. He will be fine. If he does get kicked off Spotify, like I said, he'll just make more money.
And we are titling this The King of Curses, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
However, this is very interesting, going back to the celebrity death pool when Chris
he picked Joe Rogan.
Chris put Joe Rogan on his list this year.
Oh shit.
It's very ominous. So
that's right.
Yeah. So it's certainly a coordinated effort, right? Like they tried the whole Neil Young COVID misinformation thing and it didn't work. So now they bumped it up to racism. What are they going to try when racism doesn't work?
So I also just saw, like, because it was through trending, and someone was like, I think the hashtag is I stand with Joe Rogan. I think that's the one.
Yeah.
And someone goes, hey, remember that time that Neil Young was like super homophobic and Joe Rogan actually came out in support?
Yeah.
You're backing the wrong guy. And
Yeah.
it was even as simple as like Neil Young was talking about, I think he said,
I remember the quote when he was in the grocery store back in the 80s. He said something about he doesn't want faggots touching his potatoes.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, and then something else about AIDS.
Yeah,
he said he doesn't want to get AIDS from people at the grocery store.
Which, never mind, did Newsom just do that? Oh, he held his breath to take the picture with Magic Johnson?
Yeah, well, no, that's because he took his mask off.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, that was the mayor. That was the mayor of.
Oh, it was Garcetti.
That was Garcetti.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh, how come you weren't wearing a mask?" And he was like, "Oh, I was. But when I took my mask off for the picture, I held my breath." What?
Clown.
Yeah.
But then, so the woman that tweeted that Neil Young screenshot tweeted, it was what did Joe Rogan say? He goes, I think those that oppose gay marriage are
either just really dumb or they're secretly afraid that dicks taste good.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, the whole racist thing, he had a guy who was a black guy on his podcast last year, I think it was, that has converted over 200 KKK members. Like, he's got them, like, that podcast was wild. That episode was fucking crazy. Because this guy tells the story about, he's a black man and he goes to meet these members of the KKK to talk to them and get them to leave the KKK. And the predominance of his examples and his stories were these KKK members had never even talked. They'd never even spoken to a black person before. And some of them were like, yeah, I didn't know what you were going to say. I didn't know you were going to talk just like me. And just that one episode in particular, like I said, was absolutely wild. But yeah, Joe Rogan's a racist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, this is actually pretty good. It is funny. You were right. Instead of everyone just kind of jumping ship, everyone's going to bat.
Yep.
That could backfire. Probably will. You won't hear about it.
Yeah. No. They'll just try something else.
Yep.
That's what I mean. Like the COVID thing didn't work. So what's worse than COVID? Racism. All right. Well, when racism doesn't work, what's worse than that?
They'll probably, yeah, I
don't know.
Well, someone joked they'll try sexual assault next.
Yeah. Someone will come out and be like, oh yeah, back in, 1993, I was sexually assaulted by Joe Rogan. And it's like, all right, who wasn't sexually assaulted in 1993?
I don't know if that's necessarily the right competing point.
No, I know, but this is also a comedy podcast.
Really? I thought it was a tragedy.
Yeah. No, that's just my life. So yeah, it's they're just going to keep trying to ramp it up. They're going to try and go after him for everything that they can because they need a boogeyman, right? Like you said, like we've talked about before, like CNN, mainstream media, their ratings are tanking. They need something. They need Trump. Trump's gone. They can't get Trump because they kicked him. And this is the thing, right? This is their thing that they don't understand. They totally deplatformed Donald Trump. They kicked him off of every single social media, and then they got him out of the White House. Well, then what happened to their ratings? They fucking tanked. They're absolutely fucking tanked. And they're like, shit, we need ratings. Who can we go after? Joe Rogan. All right, let's get Joe Rogan. Let's try for COVID misinformation. That didn't work. Let's try for racism. That didn't work. Let's try something else. Maybe that'll work. Maybe Spotify finally cuts ties. Yay, we won. We beat Joe Rogan. The devil's gone. Well, yeah, now he just created his own streaming app and service, makes way more fucking money. And now guess what? You guys have nothing to do again. And now your ratings tank again. It's like these people just don't understand. They don't get it. They're really fucking stupid is really what it comes down to. That's why I hate everybody. But I mostly hate dumb people.
I'm dumb.
Me too. That's why I hate myself. So that's Sarcasm Speaks on Joe Rogan. I want to start wrapping this up. I think it's time.
Yes, but I think I want to go. Okay, that final thought isn't going to work. All right. Do you know how hard it is to find a left-handed putter without paying an arm and a leg for it?
No, I can't say that I do, but I would imagine it's pretty fucking hard.
It's really fucking hard.
Yeah.
So I got my new putter,
Yep.
and it's completely different style. I have nothing like it. So I have a putting mat here. I have a putting mat at the gym. I leave my bag in my car. I don't like the putter moving to all these different places because then there's a very high probability it gets left somewhere, and then I don't have it.
Right.
So I would like a putter at work, putter here less, because if I'm here, that means my car's here, which means I can go get the putter and leave by my keys.
Right.
But for ease of everything, it would be really cool to have a putter at work, have a putter here, and keep my gamer in the bag. And all I'm looking for is a face balance mallet. It doesn't need to be the same brand. It doesn't need to be the same exact thing. But I'm not paying a lot for putters just to leave around.
Right.
So I figure, Odyssey is a very well-known putter brand. They probably make some of the best putters in the biz. I got to be able to find an old Odyssey putter for I don't know, $50. Nope. Can't.
Yeah.
Nope.
Why would you?
And I'm like, cool. This is awesome. All right, well, maybe Ping, because Ping's not as expensive, still popular. I'll go to Ping. Nope. Nothing. My cost of buying a putter from 12 years ago, over $100.
Wow.
I can go and buy a brand new one for 140.
Right.
But that seems dumb. Why would I go spend $140 on a brand new putter that's just going to be left at work?
Right. Right.
That seems like a waste of fucking money.
Yeah. But also, you're not going to spend $100 on a putter from 2010.
No, I'd pay fucking 50, 60.
Yeah.
Never mind the shape that some of these things are in. It's like, that is embarrassing that you're fucking charging
on second swing?
No, second swing's too expensive. Just eBay.
Oh, okay.
No, second swing's really expensive.
Yeah.
It's
I think
almost
because they take a charge, or you know what I mean? Like they get a piece. I mean, so does eBay, but eBay is a massive, they don't rely on just selling golf equipment.
Well, so the thing with second swing is they charge the top dollar of the value.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. eBay, it's whatever people want it for. If no one wants that putter, then it's not worth $125.
Right.
It's only worth 35.
Yeah.
But dude, like I went for my fitting the Friday before New Year's. It's been like over a month for me to find a putter that cost less than $75 and didn't look like it had served 3 fucking terms in Iraq.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what the fuck? So I bought one the other day, and we'll see. It'll be fine. Hopefully Joe and Lee's can adjust it for me. But I'm just like, man, what? How does a putter from 2008 still cost over $100? It definitely didn't cost that much back then.
No.
Or it might have. So apparently we've all been stupid. The right thing to buy back then was Bitcoin and putters, left-handed putters, because they quite literally cannot lose their value.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane.
It's like Toyotas, left-handed putters, and Bitcoin.
Like, it's insane how hard it was for me to find a putter that I can stand to look at. Like, again, like I'm not looking for one that's been used on a construction site.
Oh yeah, dude. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if I said that to you when I was looking for a new putter, like when I eventually bought the Ardmore. Like, it took me a while to find one that I liked, like you just said, and one that actually was in decent shape. But like, I don't understand. Like, you guys should do this right now, just for fun. If you're listening, go on eBay and just search golf putters and like click used and see what's out there. Like, some of these literally look like they have been like started to put through like a wood chipper. And then it was like, oh no, wait, I want that back. Like,
yeah, I'll put it on eBay.
How?
There's an Odyssey 2 ball. I don't even know how old it is. The shaft is rusting.
Yeah.
How the fuck does that even happen?
Like, what kind of fucking hillbilly takes such bad care of their putter?
The shaft is rusting. It's fucking
shaft is
plated.
Rusted.
It's plated. It's designed not to rust. Yet you found a way for it to fucking rust.
Yeah.
And now you're going to try to charge me $75 for it?
Yeah. Or my original putter that I bought from Joe and Lee's 6 years ago, however long it was I think it's a 2009. It was a 2009 Cleveland Blade. And I bought it. Let's just say I bought it 6 years ago. So that's what, 2016. So I bought it. It's a 2009 model. I bought it in 2016. And if I go downstairs right now and grab it and bring it up and show it to you, it looks brand fucking new. So I've gotten 6 years of use out of it. And then it also existed in the world for fucking 7 years prior. And it looks fine.
Yes.
There's clubs on eBay that are like 2019 models that literally are like the paint's chipped. They're fucking rusted. There's a massive fucking ding in the putter face. And it's like, what do you people do? What do you people do with these clubs? Like, how is this club that's 2 years old in such terrible fucking condition?
There was an Odyssey 2 ball, and I almost bought it just thinking that I could fix it. It has a steel insert, which whatever, I didn't love. And this might have been like $65. There was Sharpie on the toe, because the toe is a white insert and the middle has a steel insert. It's kind of weird. It's got like a double insert thing going.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has Sharpie on the toe. That tells me that this person either enough times or perfectly took the ball, threw it up, soft tossed it, and hit it out of the park. Because that's the only way you can get a putter to transfer Sharpie.
Yeah.
Like sometimes on irons, it'll transfer.
Yeah.
Dude, a putter? Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
How the fuck do you do that? Never mind. Again, shaft's rusting. I'm not buying a putter with a rusting shaft. That is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. So you leave it out you store it in a puddle or in your pool. Yeah. I store my golf clubs in my fucking
underwater.
Pool. Yeah. Underwater. I hear it's good. It's good for the clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. So I don't know what you people are doing. Just take care of your shit.
Yeah.
Because like everyone likes to crush Aaron Rye, some British guy. He wears 2 gloves and has iron covers.
Tommy 2 gloves.
And he has iron covers and people always give him shit for it. And he's like, well, when I was a kid, my father taught me take care of my stuff. He goes, I just still do it today, even though he would get everything for free anyway.
Right.
And it's like, clown, has iron covers. Well, at least he's fucking right. Take care of your shit, people.
Right. Yeah. I would love to see the amount of people that give him shit. What do your clubs look like? They
probably don't even clean their fucking grooves.
Yeah. Yeah. Their grooves are probably
disgusting
fucking
beasts.
Mold growing in between the fucking grooves of their clubs.
Yeah. It's like, how'd that one go left? Oh, I don't know. There's fucking Mount Kilimanjaro on the face of your 7-iron.
Yeah, your club doesn't have grooves. It actually has fucking mountains. There's so much shit in your fucking the face of your clubs that it's protruding.
Yeah. Fucking people. Take care of your shit, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, it blows my mind. Like I said, I went through something similar when I was looking for a new putter. And it took me forever because of the same thing. I was like, I'm not paying $120 for a used putter that looks like it's been fucking slammed off of the concrete 1,000,000 times. So,
yeah, repeatedly.
Yeah, yeah. Like seriously though, true. Like, what do you take your putter in the bunker? Like, are you hitting putter out of the bunker? Like, how the fuck?
Dude.
Like, how does that happen?
You would have to hit it off cart path. That's the only way I'm seeing.
Yeah.
What I've seen.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw one at Joe and Lee's 1 year. 1 year. It's the exact putter that I bought brand new this year.
Like a chunk out of the face of the putter. Like, are you putting with rocks?
This putter came out at the beginning of last year. And it's for sale. It's abused. This thing is absolutely abused. Like it had to have been dragged from a car or run over, one or the other. And there's a little screw in the bottom that I didn't even know existed. It's fucking missing. The putter head moves. It's fucking wobbling.
Yeah.
One season. That is fucking embarrassing.
Yeah.
$300 putter, and that's how you treat it.
Yeah. People are fucking cunts. It's why I hate everybody. So, shit. What is my final thought going to be? So I just finished, Amy and I just finished watching a TV show called His Dark Materials. Pretty good. It's on HBO Max. It's there's only 2 seasons out, so it follows a book series. And there's only the books, there's a trilogy. So there's only going to be 1 more season, which I think is cool, separate from everything, because especially the way like media and entertainment goes now, it's like the Disney model, right? We're just going to make 1,000,000 fucking spinoffs and we're going to get blood from a stone type of deal. Like, look at Star Wars now. Like, ever since Disney bought Star Wars, now there's a fucking series of everything. So, and that's what everyone is doing, right? So, Marvel included and all that shit. Again, a Disney product, but I think it's cool that they're literally like, hey, there's only 3 books that exist, so we're only making 3 seasons. And each season is allegedly true to the book, which I haven't read them, so I can't back that up. But that's what I've seen so far and stuff I've read about it. Pretty good show, right? Like I don't want to give too much away in case anyone listening wants to watch it. But it's a sci-fi show that explores like almost like a coming of age thing for the main characters. The main character is the girl from Logan. Like the female Wolverine. Did you see that movie?
I don't remember it.
Yeah. She's the main character of the show, but it's like a sci-fi thing, coming of age. They're connected to like spirit animal deal. There's a lot of religious motifs in it, where they challenge religion and authority, which is kind of interesting. It's like it adds like an interesting aspect to like their world and how everything goes. Yeah, it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. The first season only has 8 episodes. The second season has 7. The first season, each episode's like roughly an hour. The second season, they're only like 45, 50 minutes. So we got through both seasons probably in like a week, maybe 2 weeks tops. So it's not hard. Like it's not hard to get through it. Decent. The first couple episodes are weird. They don't make a lot of sense. It's like one of those shows similar to like Game of Thrones when that came out back in the day, that there's no real like character introductions for anybody. People just kind of like show up and start like interacting with each other, and you don't really know who they are until later on. Like it's one of those shows where like, again, and it's also very easy to do this right now that we've finished the 2 seasons. The third season will be out sometime this year, but it's one of those shows where like I'm going to have to go back and rewatch from the beginning, now that I know like everything that's going on. But like I said, it's easy to do that because there's only 15 episodes that exist, and there's only going to be one more season and then it's done. So I'll probably do that at some point, go back and rewatch. But like I said, it's the first like 2-3 episodes. You watch it and you're like, I'm not really quite sure what's going on. But then somewhere around like the 3rd, 4th episode in the first season, things start to make sense and kind of click and get good. And then the ending of the first season is fucking incredible. It's wild. Like the last 3 episodes of the first season are awesome. And then the whole second season is pretty good too. So like I said, it's called His Dark Materials. It's on HBO Max. I would say it's probably worth your time to watch if you're into that sort of thing. Like if you don't like sci-fi stuff, then you're probably not gonna enjoy it. Like I said, it's a lot of like spiritual and otherworldly. Like there's like a multiverse kind of in it. So it's like a whole thing. It's cool. I like it. Trying to think of what it would be. It's kind of like a blend between not quite Harry Potter, but I don't know if you've seen the second, like the secondary series, like the Fantastic Beasts.
I might have watched the first one.
So it's kind of like a blend of like the Fantastic Beast series of Harry Potter, because the magic is more subtle. Like this show, like there's no one with fucking wands. Like it's not Harry Potter where they're witches and wizards and they fucking fight each other with wands and shit. But it, like I said, there is animals in it. Like everyone has their own spirit animal and that type of shit. James McAvoy is in it. He's pretty good. He's a really good actor. He doesn't have a huge part in it, but he's still good. Trying to think of like anything else it would be similar to, but maybe like, I don't know, not really Lord of the Flies, but I don't know. It's kind of like like it's quasi-apocalyptic. It's good. Like I said, I enjoyed it. If you're out there listening and you're like, what the fuck is he trying to say? But it kind of sounds interesting, you'll probably like it. But if you're like, oh, that does not sound like it's for me, then it's probably not. So his Dark Materials on HBO Max again. Not a sponsor, but it's a good show. So that, I believe, is going to do it for us. Thank you for watching wherever you're at. Well, you're actually only watching on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that shit, wherever you're listening to. You give us 5 stars now on Spotify, if that's what you use. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod, or on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. The Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. Again, I write for UltimateSportsNetworks.com. Keep an eye out for your NASCAR picks coming soon. You can get all your picks in on my NASCAR picks on mybookie.com and use our promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up at MyBookie, and they will double your first deposit up to $1,000 over there. So again, mybookie.com, promo code SarcasmPod. Use the same promo code SarcasmPod at grillyourassoff.com to get 15% off your entire order every single time you check out. The world's best seasonings, accoutrements, pickles, barbecue sauces, t-shirts, hats, they got it all. Grillyourassoff.com, promo code SarcasmPod, 15% off every single time you order. And I believe that's it. So until next time, night.